Have you ever wondered how the food you eat impacts your insulin levels? This is a question that has intrigued scientists and health enthusiasts for years. And rightly so, because the connection between what we consume and the insulin in our bodies is a critical one that influences our overall health and well-being. You see, every time we eat, our body's response is to release insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. This insulin acts like a key, unlocking our body's cells to allow sugar from the food we consume to enter and be used for energy. But here's the catch. The amount of insulin released isn't the same for all foods. Some foods cause a surge in insulin levels, while others result in a gradual increase. It all depends on what and when we eat. Take, for example, foods high in refined sugars and simple carbohydrates. These can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, necessitating a large insulin response. On the other hand, foods rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats tend to slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, reducing the amount of insulin needed. But why does this matter? Well, consistently high levels of insulin can lead to an increased storage of body fat and a higher risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. So, understanding the impact of different foods on our insulin levels can help us make healthier choices and potentially avoid these health issues. Moreover, there's a growing body of research suggesting that not just what, but when we eat can also influence our insulin levels. Concepts like time-restricted feeding and intermittent fasting are gaining traction for their potential to help maintain healthier baseline insulin levels. In essence, the relationship between food and insulin is a complex but fascinating one, serving as a reminder of the powerful role nutrition plays in our health. So, as we journey further into this topic, keep in mind that the food we eat isn't just about satisfying hunger. It's about fueling our bodies in a way that supports our overall health. Let's dive deeper into this topic and learn what insulin is and how it works. To understand the impact of food on insulin, we first need to grasp what insulin is. Insulin, quite simply, is a hormone produced by our bodies, specifically by the pancreas. Its primary role is to regulate the amount of glucose or sugar in our bloodstream. Think of insulin as a key. When we consume food, our body breaks it down into various components, one of which is glucose. This glucose then enters our bloodstream, raising our blood sugar levels. Now, our cells need this sugar for energy, but they can't access it directly. This is where insulin steps in. It acts as a key, unlocking the cells and allowing glucose to enter. But insulin's role doesn't stop there. It also helps our bodies store energy. When we have more glucose than we need, insulin signals our liver to store the excess glucose as glycogen. This stored glycogen can then be converted back into glucose when our bodies require more energy, such as between meals or during physical activity. However, when this process is disrupted, it can lead to a condition known as insulin resistance. This is when our cells become less responsive to insulin, leading to a buildup of glucose in the bloodstream. Over time, this can result in high blood sugar levels, which can cause various health issues such as type 2 diabetes. Insulin also plays a role in fat metabolism. When insulin levels are high, it prevents our bodies from breaking down fat for energy. This is because insulin promotes the storage of fat, and when it's present in high amounts, our bodies prefer to store fat rather than burn it. Understanding insulin and its role in our bodies is crucial to understanding how the foods we eat affect our insulin levels. Different foods can cause different responses in our bodies. Some foods can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar, leading to a spike in insulin, while others have slower absorption rates resulting in a slower rise in blood sugar and insulin levels. Now that we know what insulin is and its role, let's see how it is affected by food. So how does food affect our insulin levels? Let's dive into this intriguing question. Food, indeed, plays a significant role in how our bodies produce and regulate insulin. Every time we eat, our bodies break down the carbohydrates in our food into glucose, a type of sugar. This glucose then enters our bloodstream, causing our blood sugar levels to rise. In response, our pancreas releases insulin, the hormone that allows our cells to absorb this glucose and convert it into energy. However, not all foods are created equal when it comes to their impact on insulin levels. Some foods, such as those high in sugars and simple carbohydrates, cause a swift and significant rise in blood sugar. In turn, this triggers a substantial release of insulin, leading to what's known as an insulin spike. On the other hand, foods rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats have a slower absorption rate. This means they cause a more gradual increase in blood sugar, resulting in a more controlled release of insulin. The key to understanding this lies in a concept known as the glycemic index. The glycemic index, or GI, is a ranking system for carbohydrates. It measures how quickly a particular food causes blood sugar levels to rise. Foods with a high glycemic index, like white bread or sugary drinks, cause a rapid rise in blood glucose and thus a quick spike in insulin. Whereas foods with a low glycemic index, such as whole grains, legumes, and certain fruits and vegetables, lead to a slower, more manageable increase in both blood sugar and insulin levels. So, by choosing foods with a lower glycemic index, we can help manage our insulin levels, preventing those sharp spikes and crashes that can lead to feelings of fatigue, hunger, and even long-term health issues like insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Understanding the glycemic index of different foods is vital in managing insulin levels. But what else can we do to control our insulin levels? Let's explore that in the next scene. You might be surprised to learn that when you eat can be just as important as what you eat. Let's delve into two dietary practices that have gained popularity in recent years: time-restricted feeding and intermittent fasting. These aren't just trendy buzzwords. They're backed by science and can have a profound impact on your insulin levels. Time-restricted feeding is all about confining your eating to a specific window of time each day. This could be 8, 10, or 12 hours. The rest of the day, you're in a fasting state. This allows your body to enter a period of low insulin, which facilitates fat burning. Intermittent fasting, on the other hand, involves alternating periods of eating and fasting. This could mean fasting for a whole day once or twice a week, or eating only within a specific time frame, like the 16-8 method where you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. So, how do these practices affect insulin levels? Well, every time we eat, our body releases insulin to help process the nutrients. By limiting our eating to certain windows, we give our body a break from insulin production. This helps to lower our baseline insulin levels and improve insulin sensitivity. But why is this important? High insulin levels can lead to insulin resistance, a key factor in the development of type 2 diabetes and other health complications. Lowering baseline insulin levels can help prevent this and promote better overall health. Moreover, these practices can help regulate hunger, improve metabolic health, and even enhance cognitive function. It's not just about weight loss, it's about promoting overall health and wellness. However, it's important to remember that everyone's body is different. What works for one person may not work for another. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new dietary regimen. But there's another thing we need to bear in mind. The presence of insulin can prevent body fat utilization for energy. This means that even if you're eating the healthiest of foods, if you're constantly grazing throughout the day, your body may never get the chance to tap into its fat stores for energy. That's where time-restricted feeding and intermittent fasting come in. So, how can we use this information to lower insulin and blood sugar levels? Knowledge is power, and now that we have a better understanding of how food impacts insulin, we can wield that power to make healthier choices. One key strategy is to opt for low glycemic foods. The glycemic index measures how quickly a food causes your blood sugar levels to rise. Foods that have a low glycemic index, like whole grains, legumes, and non-starchy vegetables, slowly release glucose into your bloodstream, which prevents a spike in insulin. Next, consider time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting. Both methods involve limiting your eating to certain hours of the day. This allows your body to enter a fasting state, which helps to lower insulin levels. When you're in a fasting state, your insulin levels decrease, and your fat cells can release their stored sugar to be used as energy. It's also important to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Regular physical activity can help you lose weight and increase insulin sensitivity. Increased insulin sensitivity means your cells are better able to use the available sugar in your bloodstream. Also, getting enough sleep and reducing stress can have a positive impact on your insulin and blood sugar levels. In addition to these strategies, it's crucial to stay hydrated. Drinking enough water not only helps your kidneys flush out excess sugar through urine, but also rehydrates your blood, which lowers blood sugar levels. Lastly, let's not forget the power of a balanced diet. Including fiber-rich foods in your meals can slow down carbohydrate digestion and sugar absorption, leading to a gradual rise in blood sugar levels instead of a spike. Remember, everyone's body is different. What works for one person may not work for another. It's always best to consult with a healthcare provider before making any major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Remember, understanding the impact of food on insulin levels is a powerful tool in managing your health. Stay informed and make the choices that are right for you.